Back again, success number 2. The LaserMax now fits the Rings Blue Gun, LC9 Blue Gun. Here's the total modifications that had to be made, additional modifications for the LaserMax. It had to be brought all the way back to this point, because this here where my fingernail is, that's still filler from the master mold. The trigger guard should be like that, so that's filler. I'm just leaving as much of it in there as possible. Not that it would make a difference there, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I had to take a lot of material off to get the LaserMax to fit, and that is because it has that total encapsulation of the trigger guard. Whoops. Alright. This snaps on. There we go. And you can see how it comes all the way up into the center, and it comes back into this part here, and it divvies in just a little bit, if I can get the light right, in that area there, so all that had to be taken out. And the other piece snaps in relatively easy. And come on, get my brain straight. There we go. You can see how back in here it's totally enclosed. So anyway, that is the finish. We now have LC9 Rings Blue Gun that can be used with Crimson Trace or LaserMax. And it wasn't very difficult, really. Just have to be a little cautious, because there isn't. And actually, even if you cut the entire trigger guard off, it wouldn't be a problem, because I don't mean totally. You'd have to leave a stub up there for it to hang on to. But if it's gripped back here and up at the top, if you messed up down in the bottom in here and got it too thin, it wouldn't hurt anything, because the laser itself is all the structure you'd need for the Kydex. So anyway, 2 successes today. This is a good day. I will update another video on the undersizing issues and how I'm dealing with that. It's not Rings' problem, because these guns are not designed for holster making. They're designed for training guns. So this isn't an issue with Rings per se, that you know they have a problem. It's just when you use these for holster making, it becomes a problem. So anyway, I'll update it another video and tell you my experiences and what I've done to compensate for the undersizing. Again, the undersizing isn't that big of a deal from what I can tell for leather holster makers, obviously, and for Kydex, like what John is doing over at Philly EDC, the 2-piece sandwich type where the rivets are spaced a little bit further apart on the holster. There's more leeway for the holster to give, whereas the type that I'm doing, the fold-over type, there's really no slack in there. And if you've got a 20 thousandths too tight on the slide, you're going to have a problem. Not only that, you'll have a problem with scratching up your slide. And that's something that I'm really focusing on, is trying to make the holster so that it doesn't touch any of the metal parts, or very little if possible. So I'll make a whole video on that and tell you what I'm come up with. So take care. See you next time.